So just to introduce the session without further ado, the theme of this camp is living with Sai. We had Uncle Gunnar introduce it beautifully yesterday. And one aspect of this that we wanted us to experience is what it's like to have lunch with Swami. And so we as the young adults have lovingly called Swami, prayed to Swami, invited him to have lunch with all of us today. It's not like, what is it like to have lunch with Swami? He is here sitting with us, there's a seat for him, and we're going to recreate the experience of eating with Swami, following all the principles that Uncle Dinesh has spoken about, and really feeling the significance and the sacredness of this act of eating in the presence of our beautiful Mother Sai. So how the session is going to work. So just to, we're not going to go into this in too much detail, but I'm sure Uncle Dinesh has covered the idea of our body being the first yajna kund. You know, we have this beautiful fire we had last night, right? And we were offering our Gayatri mantras. And Swami has spoken about the importance of these kinds of rituals, like Katirudra Mahayajna, where you're offering all kinds of things into the fire, ghee and rice, and through that it's being sacrificed and, you know, purifying the atmosphere, purifying ourselves. So the very first yajna kund was actually the human body. And the physical yajna is actually modeled off the human body. And we can go into this, we're doing some research, it's very fascinating. And so we are going to, when we eat lunch, see our bodies as a temple, and see this act of eating as making an offering into this yajna kund for the divine that resides within us, our true reality. So that's what we want you to eat with, that feeling of I'm making an offering, just like Swami is offering in that picture, into the fire. Eating with full awareness, concentration, mindfulness, gratefulness, you know, for Mother Earth, the water, the sun, the hands, all the people, all the resources that have brought the food to us, really feeling, wow, how amazing that we can eat this food, when so much of the world is hungry in this time. We're going to eat, this is probably the hardest part, in complete silence. And I know we love connecting and catching up with Sai family, and the meals have been fun, and we're laughing and joking and sharing stories. This one meal, the invitation is to have complete silence. With Swami, we were told by Brother Arvind, they ate in pin drop silence. So the silence was so beautiful, and it's in that silence that we feel Swami's presence. So just for this one meal, it's going to feel awkward and weird, and some of you might laugh, and some of you might feel, oh, I really want to, we invite you to eat silently. What that means is a few things. One, of course not speaking, so we'll explain how the food will come and you'll gesture for the food you need, just as it was when you ate with Swami physically. Part of that is not making sound. So as you eat, the invitation is to eat with your hands as much as possible. But if you need a spoon, you can raise your hand and ask for a spoon, but to be really mindful of even the sound of the spoon touching the plate, just to really honor that silence. And most of all, the inner silence, you know, to keep our presence, our awareness fixed on Swami, fixed on the moment, because in that we can experience Him, in that we can find ourselves. So complete silence, the servers, the ushers, we've done our best to prepare in that way as well. We're going to eat food that is sattvic, pure, nutritious, and the same kinds of foods that Swami would eat. And then Swami said we should eat till we are half to three-quarter full. I'm sure this was covered in the session, getting up with the same lightness as sitting down. So normally at these camps, I eat really well, and the food is so yum, and we go for dessert. But this one meal, just to really honor Swami's teachings, we can enjoy it, but really be conscious, am I full enough? And Swami says, half full for the adults and three-quarter full for the youth. The other half is air and water. So, your choice, you eat, but just be mindful of how much you're eating, and if you're eating for the tongue or eating for the body. And for this one meal, the invitation is to really eat. You know, food is medicine. We don't live to eat. We live to eat. We don't eat to live. Other way around. Yeah. So if we go to the next slide, Dash. So the menu for today, we're having Ragi Sankati. Does anyone know what Ragi Sankati is? Yeah. Yeah, so it's a traditional meal that, it's called poor man's food. It's made with millet and rice. Swami's grown up eating this. It's very accessible, very simple. It's a staple food of Swami's. Very nutritious, you know, high in protein and all sorts. We can tell you more about the nutrition later. We know you're keen to eat, but this is what it looks like. It's made with millet and rice. It's quite plain and neutral, so it's not very spicy. It's quite a neutral flavor. That will have two sides, peanut chutney and spinach dal, and both will go with the ragi. There'll be a cucumber salad. You're going to get freshly squeezed watermelon and mint juice that the young adults have also been preparing. You'll get a lovely curd rice, and to cool off a tamarind drink at the end. And so that's the menu. We're conscious that this might feel a little bit out of our comfort zones. Some of us might not have had ragi before. You know, there might be some things in there that are new, that are a bit strange. So just for this session, we want to just invite you to kind of embrace the experience, try something new. It's really been made with love from the young adults, and it's really to recreate Swami's life. So that's the reason we're doing it. Yeah, we'll go to the next slide there. So how it's going to go, we're going to start now. And if you've got a phone with you, could you please take it out? And for this session, we please humbly ask you turn it off or put it on silent. And we've heard a few phones ringing. For the next hour, we're praying that there's no emergencies. So please take a moment. Don't be the embarrassing one that we all go, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And then Swami is eating here. How will we feel if our phone goes off, right? And we've called Swami with our hearts. So please, please take that extra effort. I'm going to do the same because I don't know if my phone is on silent. I'm going to put it on flight mode actually, just to be safe. So please, you can leave your phones in here even better, or in your rooms, but please keep them off. We're going to walk into the room in silence, and the ladies are going to go first, followed by the men. And we'll mention that in a moment. And as you arrive, there's going to be some young adults that will usher you to your seats. And so the ladies will go on the left side, the men are going to go on the right side. We're going to be segregated. There's a kids' table at the back, so for the young ones, I think they're not in the middle at the moment, which will be ushered to your seat. We invite you to walk in silence, sit down in silence. There'll be watermelon juice already at your plate. Please don't drink the juice yet. We're going to chant Brahmarpanam first. So just take a seat, take a moment just to become aware of where you are, take some deep breaths, chant the Gayatri. You know, really take a moment to center yourself before the sacred offering that we're going to make to the God within. We're then going to do a group Brahmarpanam chanting. The young adults will lead us. Then the food is going to be served. As you receive your food, you're welcome to start eating. We've sequenced it Ayurvedically with the raw food first and the salad and the cooked later, so you can just get started as the food arrives. Young adults will come around with seconds, and so you can signal when you want seconds. Because we're not speaking, we invite you to really connect with the heart. You can say more, you can say less, you can say half, you can say no, but that'll be kind of a fun way for us to connect beyond words, and we really want to retain that sanctity and that silence. So just be mindful of that. We mentioned eating in silence, inner and outer. When you finish your meal, we're going to invite you to leave in silence. The dishes will be collected by the young adults as well. Once you leave the space and you're at some distance, you can then chat, do what you like, you know, enjoy the rest of your free time. But while we're in that space, we're going to be in complete silence, which was just how Swami liked it, and what he expected. And through that, hopefully, have a really beautiful experience. It's not just silence to be annoying and stop our socializing. It's so we can really conduct the sacred offering and feel Swami within, and feel that love and presence that we've enjoyed all weekend. So that concludes the kind of introduction to the session. We also finally, young adults, we're not used to cooking, and we know the aunties and uncles are really experts, so we please ask for your patience, bear with our mistakes. The food, we've cooked it to the best of our ability. We've got some experts in the room, so just enjoy it for what it is. Please, we apologize for anything that might not be up to your standards, or not as good as you like, or we might spill the food. So just bear with us. But just, it's really just made with love, and we've got a lot to learn. It's been a big of an adventure. But I just want to really finally acknowledge it's been amazing. The little teen boys have been there wiping the tables, carrying the tables. So all the wonderful young adults, older adults have all chipped in. So it's really a collective offering to you all with love as well. Yeah.
In the Sai family, just this entire idea was a young adults idea. And they have put in the heart and soul to do this for us, to along with the team making this Sai. Let us all give them 100%, follow whatever they request. Let's make it a beautiful silent.
Beautiful. Thank you for your support, Uncle. Yeah.
Hey, just food for thought in which attempts like this. I think the talk like the event should be done on the first day of the camp.
Sure. We can, and we'll have time to debrief and reflect later. So in the spirit of that, maybe we can just do an Om and 3 Shantis just to center ourselves before we walk in. So we'll just invite you to join in. And after we finish the Om and 3 Shantis, I'll invite the ladies to walk out the door. And once all the ladies have made their way, then we can give a few moments and the gents can follow suit. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Who wants to talk about their silent lunch experience?
Sairam. I think it was a wonderful experience, more than a wonderful meal that we had. I really liked the way we were introduced into it, so I think it fell in place with Dr. Dinesh Lal's talk and presentation, and the way Shruti had explained what is going to happen really helped, and the whole experience of walking out in silence, going and sitting, enjoying the meal, being with it, and the menu was also excellent. So I wish I was more hungry to eat that meal, but all the morning tea and the breakfast we had, we were still a bit full. But I think the youth have done extremely well and led by example, and we need to follow this for all the meals.
Sairam, everyone. I think just to add to what Sister Shobhi has said, this is a kind of experience you want to have when you come to this kind of gathering, to a spiritual retreat. You want to go home with that kind of experience. And we all, I think the feedback when we came back from lunch was the same throughout the hall. It was wonderful. Everyone was feeling emotional. We felt that Swami's presence there. So thank you so much to the youth. It was a really wonderful experience.
When Dr. Dinesh was giving us a session of food and everything, that time also I just kept on feeling Agarbati, and I was looking somewhere, did somebody light an Agarbati? I was looking at the altar, there's somebody else. Literally then, the Agarbati is going on, I should just do the whole session Agarbati. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Auntie.
We're not used to eating in silence. And going there, because from here we were walking towards the hall, it was all silent. And things were trying to come out from the mouth that we took ourselves in control. And actually, after eating in silence, when you got out from there, even if we came here, people were still whispering. So it was very contagious. People were still whispering over here. Then we said, hey, we're no longer eating dinner, we can go. Like normally, right? So it was very, it got into us, which is very nice.
Very nice. Uncle Selvan?
It's the first time the youth have done this to us, but on a positive note, thank you.
Yes, Uncle Manu.
It was an honor, it was a privilege to have a meal with Swami. It was a great experience. I personally was very touched and was very emotional. I could feel something in me, and
I know what you mean, Uncle. Yeah.
I think all our meals should be like that.
Yeah.
So I want to pray to Swami that bless all the young adults, give them good health and wealth and knowledge like this that you can share amongst us. Thank you once again.
Thank you to the adults, the elders, the children. The youth are just a vehicle, an instrument for him. I mean, my first reflection was, wow, I'm really loud, because I really had to be silent after that. And then even talking a little bit, I automatically started speaking a bit softer, because then you realize after silence how loud you are, even in your normal. So that was one reflection I had.
Context, we had a satsang with Brother Arvind a couple of weeks ago, and he kind of briefed us on how we should prepare the food, buy the food with the prayer. Sister Nithya, was praying, and with that kind of love and offering to Swami. From the moment the food was purchased, it was purchased with that feeling, which is I think why we were so touched as well. But then there was bhajans going on all day, the youth were working in teams, cleaning, cooking, preparing. last couple of weeks, many of us have been trying to chant from Harapranam sincerely and eat in silence at home, just as warm-up before we share it with you all. So that's been a nice sadhana for us. But I'm curious, anyone in the kitchen who's serving want to share their experience?
I would like to share something. I really feel I need to share.
Salam everyone, particularly the youth. I've attended so many sadhana camps from the time that been with Swami, and this is the first time that when Shruti came earlier before the lunch and spoke, I really felt the presence of Swami. Many times they've said Swami is everywhere, everywhere. But when she spoke, and she repeated so many times, today we're going to have a meal with Swami. And I felt, even now I'm feeling the same thing. That's why I just felt I have to share it. Hopefully I feel better after this. Because that experience that we had, I've never sat with Swami and eaten. When he was visiting, there have been so many times I've touched his feet and all that, given letters to him, all that, but never sat and eaten. Today I know I did. Although at home we chant the mantra and we know all that, but today I actually ate with him, and till now I'm still feeling that everybody is speaking about. So I think the message is, as everybody just said, those who spoke said, that I think from henceforth this should be the way in any spiritual sadhana can.
Experience as a server was interesting because it took a while to get into the mode of silence. Like I wasn't physically speaking, but my mind wasn't focused. So I made, as I was serving people, I think the label dinged, and I was like, oh, okay, and then just focused on that. And that was when my mind kind of came to one place. So it's interesting that you can do something physically, and if you're not quite aware of everything that's happening in your mind, particularly because we were rushing to get everything done, the mind's still running. And so it takes just a moment or a breath to bring that down as well. So that was my reflection.